Yes, I like the way Equia herself said that she did not want to be petty, by sort of saying what she then went ahead and said, right? And I quickly reminded her that, well, yeah, you would be right if indeed you went down tangents, because it would be petty. But let me say that beyond being petty, it would also be very irresponsible, if we did that. Let's never forget that we are here not just because of the chieftaincy, disputes, the human, issues at play here. We are also here because of political interference. Let's never forget that. I came here very sure in my mind how I wanted to communicate, about this issue, for all of us to speak with one voice, as Ghanaians, bearing in mind how very sensitive this issue is, and bearing in mind what's at stake. That all of us would speak with one voice. All of us would speak about peacekeeping, peace enforcement, the need for people to comply with the curfews from 2 p.m., to 6 a.m. the next morning, how it's important to work along with security agencies to make sure that there's peace in the region.
But at what point did you realize that you have to speak with one voice?
No, we've always known that we have to speak with one voice, which is why when she spoke about the video with the
But
with
it's
the
not exactly what you have communicated, because she made references to statements that have been made.
Yes,
that
which is why I said that
went against the then government.
Which is why I said let's play the video. I said, Anne, let's play the video. When she said there's a video, let's play it, and you said no, I said, Anne, let's play the video. Because what I hear from Equia is her spin on a video that, or her interpretation. Let me be fair to her, not say spin. Let me say interpretation. Her interpretation of a video, right? It's Equia literally listening to a video and saying that I think I'm reading in between the lines, and reading in between the lines, he sounds as if he's saying because of this, then this. That's an interpretation. That's not facts, So, I really would have hoped that we had kept it that way, the way she started about it's important to keep the peace, it's important for us to comply with law enforcement agencies. Let's go along this way. Now, what are the things Equia is accusing the NDC of doing? She says statements came out that, the former vice president belonged to a faction. Did he, actually, does he not belong to a faction? If somebody says that, how is that irresponsible?
Oh, that's not all
he is who he is. He belongs where he belongs. That's a fact. So if somebody says that, how is that being irresponsible? Right? Now, if somebody says again that because you belong to a faction, we expect more of you and more responsibility from you, how is that wrong? How would that, how is that wrong? There's nothing that has been communicated that is wrong, that has been, in any way, shape, or form inflamed passions. However, I find it problematic that this morning, when all of us should be speaking with one voice, Equia chooses to speak or end the way that she did. References to former vice president as the man of peace. I was really confused. The only man of peace we know in Ghana is his, our former president of blessed memory. Forever His Excellency John Evans Atamils, Professor. That's the only man of peace we know. Asumdrehine, he's the only one we know as the man of peace. It's interesting for me that this morning I'm hearing that Dr. Baumia is a man of peace. I'm completely confused.
But you don't want to accept that. You don't want to accept that.
No, do you know him as the man of peace? The man of peace. Do Ghanaians know him as the man of peace? Is he referenced as the man of peace? No, he's not.
If we have to
not do that,
a little bit or debate a little bit over titles, I think there was an obvious reason why former President Mills seemed to have earned, and I'm using it
absolutely,
earned that title.
Yeah.
Obviously, because he did very obvious things that even put him into trouble in his own party regarding sacking people, not sacking people from office because they belong to, or they were believed to be appointed by the previous, or they were appointed by the previous administration. He had quite a very bad relationship with former late President Jerry John Rawlings because of that. And continuously he was expressing why he says governance should not be all about politics. He will be father for all. In fact, he was the one that brought the statement, I'll be father for all, because he struggled over that problem. Sack them, I won't sack them, and things like that. I saw all those things. So there was, I think, an obvious reason to connect the earned title Asumdwehene.
It's all I'm saying. I'm saying that we know him as the Asumdwehene.
But at the same
it's
time,
a title that he earned.
Yes, but at the same time, I haven't seen Bawumia involved in any sort of violence.
All I'm saying, and I don't even want us to believe at this point, this is so inconsequential
there,
in the grand. It's completely, in the grand scheme of things. But just to put it out there, because Ekia kept referencing this man of peace and how can everybody that Ghanaians accept as a man of. I'm just making it clear that Ghanaians have one man of peace, and that is, our professor, John Evans Atta-Mills. We can't ascribe titles to make a point. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Let's not do that. In the spirit of not being petty, let's not do that.
You don't want to share. So no one can come after him.
It's his, and especially not at this time. And to say that people know their lived realities. Nobody can tell people about themselves. Like nobody can go into any region and tell them things that would instantly, with some magical power, make them believe it and vote a certain way. People live their lives. People live in their communities. People know their reality. So if the people in that region voted a certain way, I'm very surprised that you then sort of, in a way, and I are not to say that you are insulting, but as an expression, insult their sensibilities by saying that it's because they were told something. That is why they voted a certain way. It's most disingenuous this morning. The people in that region are smart enough, discerning enough to appreciate their issues. You don't know their issues better than them. So they voted a certain way because of their lived realities and because they weighed both sides and knew which side is better for them. So again, let's not do that.
Okay.
Let's not do that. Let's concentrate on the issues at stake here today, this morning, right? And I love the way that you cautioned Ekia about the sensibilities and the peculiarities of the kind of communication we're doing this morning. If you keep insisting about under whose era there is peace and there's no peace, when we all know about the importance of political interference in this situation, you have everybody sitting down and looking at you like, what are you saying and what are you not saying? So it's important for all of us to realize how our communication is crucial in these times. Political interference, we all know, is such a big part of why we are here. It's why we are here. It's part of why we are here. So for me...
And surreptitiously, they always try to evade that kind of communication when we're talking about Bawku crisis. All governments, when they come, they don't seem to appreciate the interference. So I think within the period when Mahama Yarga's house was touched, and that's the video on the screen, a few allegations of that nature came out, and names were mentioned. So
which is why we should never play politics with an issue like this. It's important and it's crucial. Because, like I keep insisting, we all know, I'll keep mentioning the elephants in the room. We all know that political interference is a major reason why we are here. We all appreciate that fact. So the minute you start to politicize the issue, then there's question about what's your interest, what's your angle, what are you saying, and what are you not saying? Then what are you doing, and what are you not supposed to be doing? So those conversations can be had. But those conversations are not helpful in these circumstances. We are talking about the lives of people in a region. We are talking about property. We are talking about the economic implications it would have for all of us in this country, not just the people of that region alone, right? We are grateful for the intervention of our traditional leaders, the Otumfo Osei-Tutu Asante, Asante Hene, we can talk about the Nairi, we can talk about, I forget his name or his title. Help me. Zagrana, right? We can speak about all of these traditional leaders who themselves have come in and are trying to help the situation. Now, can all of us, and when I say all of us...
for me, are they still on course?
Is who still on course?
Asante Hene and the other chiefs.
It's ongoing.
It's still...
We are still in it. There's I think it was yesterday that we saw the statement from the Ministry of Interior, instilling this curfew.
Yes.
From 2 p.m. to 6 a.m. the next morning. And the curfew didn't have a timeline. The curfew exists until, and we know why we need this curfew. So we can sort of calm down tensions, so we can evacuate the students.
So this is how the statement reads. Let me try and see if I can see. It says that the government of Ghana is stepping up its approach from peacekeeping to peace enforcement. What does that mean? Peacekeeping to peace enforcement.
Peacekeeping is, can I say,
you're keeping the peace. It's a normal day to ensure. Okay.
Peacekeeping is you deciding to do the right thing or you doing the right thing. Peace enforcement is you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
So that's why we're telling you, sit down.
Yes. That's why we are saying that from 2 p.m. to 9 a.m., stay indoors.
Yeah.
Don't come out.
Yeah.
That's enforcement.
Okay.
2 p.m.
Yes,
no,
from 2
6 a.m. From 2 p.m.
to 6
on
a.m.
the 27th. That's yesterday. It took effect from 2 p.m. yesterday to 6 a.m. this morning.
Okay.
So it says that the Ghana forces have been deployed to maintain law and order, and as we intensify curfews to ensure public safety, we assure the general public that the Ghana Armed Forces will take all necessary measures to protect lives and property. Government commends His Majesty Otumfuo Osei for mediating the conflict and appreciate all stakeholders who are supporting peace process. Otumfuo's mediation with the genuine help from the Nairi and the Zugrana, as you were trying to recall, has almost brought finality to the conflict until the very recent killings, which have necessitated drastic actions to protect all in the interest of the greater good. So government urges all parties to refrain from violence and support the peace across residents. Residents are advised to fully cooperate with the Ghana Armed Forces to ensure peace. We're regretting the inconveniences, peace enforcement, Okay. I'll end it here. It was actually signed by Felix Pacho for spokesperson to the President, Minister for Communications.
Minister for Communications, yes.
So,
but I mean, I think it's important at this time to extend our condolences, to all the bereaved families, to extend, heartfelt wishes to everybody that has lost property, and to say that government is exceedingly concerned, about what is happening in the region. And government is committed to making sure that peace is enforced, which is why we say we've moved from peacekeeping to peace enforcement. Because at this point, we really have no choice as a people, but to enforce the peace. It's crucial. It's important to everything we do. And to call on all of us as, Ghanaians, to realize our part in it. But more importantly, to also call, on all important stakeholders, MPP being one important stakeholder, to be mindful and sensitive to the issues at play. It's crucial. So if it's politics as usual, we could do that till tomorrow morning. We could come back to the issues and rehash the issues and go back to who is with this faction and who is not with this faction and who belongs here and who doesn't belong here. But at this moment, would that help us? Are those conversations we want to be having this morning when people's properties are burning and when people are losing their lives? Absolutely not. I think that responsibility, which is crucial, in times like this, is by itself. It requires that all of us speak with one voice, to make sure that peace is restored in the region.
I'm asking this question, and I'll play the video as you requested because my team is telling me it's ready. But I'm asking this question.
I hope we play the full thing. The beginning is what's very important
I hope
to me.
that's what they have.
I can
because
send it to you.
I'm sure it's a Metro video.
No, this is it's from their own shooting of
okay, so you
the
can
engagements.
Send it to me,
Let me send
however
it to
it is. I'm sure if we don't get the full version, we can play that one too. But where is NCC in all this? I'm asking this question because it is very dangerous and serious for anybody to move all the way from the north and come down south, get to the Ashanti region. Ashanti region of all places. Ashanti region is a very active region where they know themselves. When you're a stranger, it's easy to identify you. How did it happen that nobody saw anything strange about anybody? No intelligence was picked. Nothing, And I don't even think that the people down south know that this war is trickling down and they are with us.
Everything about this situation is not ordinary. There's nothing that is happening that is how it's supposed to be, you know. So, I mean, I dare say that then, of course, all of the spill-offs and all of the consequences thereafter will not be ordinary. And it won't be something that the two of us can sit here and explain away or understand or can rationalize, you know. So, I mean, it's most unfortunate the way things are unfolding. I'm happy that the Ministry of Interior is on top of this, as they have indicated. I'm happy that all stakeholders are on top of this issue. And I'm happy that, you know, we would hopefully have some resolution, you know, at the very least. All I'm saying is that in our communication around the issue, in how all important stakeholders are handling the issue, let's be careful not to escalate, you know, what is happening in the region.